Assalamu alaikum, people listening and watching. Welcome to the Let's Walk podcast. I'm your host Atar Rahman, and today is a beautiful day because I have my high school friend Farooque. The main reason for bringing him onto the podcast is because he has been high achiever and because he's spiritually woke, and that is why I have on to the podcast. Assalamu alaikum, Farooque.
Walaikum salam, Ata. How are you? And hello to everyone watching and listening at home.
I'm great. Could you give a brief introduction as to what is happening with ACCA and what are you doing? What are the projects like? What are you working on? Side hobbies and all. What is happening? Just let us know.
Okay. So first, I'll talk about what is ACCA and why I'm doing it. So basically, ACCA is an association of chartered accountants from UK. So if you're doing chartered accountants from India, so it's called CA. If you're doing chartered accountants from UK, it's called ACCA. So I'm basically doing the chartered accountants from United Kingdom. So it's nothing, very much different or indigenous only to UK. It's basically chartered accountants. Yeah, so that is what I'm doing right now.
Besides that, what are you still playing football in? What is that park called? I don't remember the park's name.
No, we changed the location. No, we changed the
changed.
location so many times. Yeah, new people coming, new old people going, all of that. Yeah, so football is happening every time. Almost every day we're playing. What is happening in your life? You went offline from Instagram for a couple of months.
Basically, what is happening is that I'm just falling. I am not doing anything.
Uh-huh.
Like no work, just ye hai, wo hai. So I was like, I need to get off this, and just like try to find what I want to do. When you have social media around, you have memes coming in, and then all sorts of things. So I was also working on other projects, rapid fire things, so that we'll get the creative juices flowing in. So this is basically like a or question. So you say, if I ask you a question, you say this or that. Okay, something like that.
Yeah, okay, so I have to basically choose amongst something.
Exactly, exactly.
Fine.
So coffee or tea?
Coffee.
Yeah. Morning bird or a night owl?
No, morning bird, always.
Biryani or mandi?
Biryani.
Okay. Albek or pav bhaji?
Wow, that's hard. I think pav bhaji because once you eat albek, you won't feel like eating it for the next 1 week or 2 weeks. So pav bhaji anytime.
Okay. Accounts or economics?
Accounts always.
CA or ACCA?
I'm doing ACCA, so obviously I'll choose ACCA for now.
No. If you are given the option like to choose between the both,
like I'll choose ACCA. Yeah. ACCA is more global. CA is more restricted to Asian countries. ACCA is more global, so I'll choose ACCA.
Okay, nice. So we are done with this rapid fire thing. I want you to basically go into like after 10th, there was like I remember seeing a lot of people being like, Arey Farooque, you're going to take up science, right? Even I asked you that question. I remember back at Oasis party, I guess. At Albek maybe. Yes. I remember asking you that question. But you like went up into commerce. What is this? I think this situation comes up with every student who wants to go in commerce and is having high grades. So you tell me what happened, like how did you make the decision? Because I think most of the teachers, they'll be like, you got good marks, if you go take MPC you have more opportunities and all. So just take me through how you went through the decision.
Okay, so basically taking commerce was I had kept that in mind from beginning. I think around 6th or 7th grade I knew that I'll take up this line. Also, why I didn't choose science was because it did not interest me. Like I respect the subject and all, but I couldn't find my own what do you call comforts or interest in studying science for the rest of graduation and all. So I was more comfortable with choosing accounts, not because it's easy, but it was fun and I enjoyed doing it. And since my father also is in the same background, so I obviously had a lot of exposure to the commerce side of the jobs and the market. So I obviously found it more interesting, and that's why I chose commerce. It had nothing to do with marks. You know, my father said you want to do whatever you want, but it was never, you know, like it was never restricted to getting more marks so that I'll go to science or anything.
So this happens with a lot of students. So I was
Yes.
like, like how did you get up like with the situation? Because there's a lot of peer pressure. Bro, I'm also going in science. You're also going in science. We all are going in science. So
No, I actually made up my mind before only. I was like, okay, whatever anyone says, I won't be listening. It's you know, it's up to me. It's my decision, and I
yeah,
want to have a, you know, comfortable and good life according to my terms. And
yeah,
you know, I think the mentality of, you know, getting more marks and going to science should you know, not be promoted in the society, because lots of students who want to take something else, they're forced into, you know, taking science just for the sake of
exactly.
yeah,
Options for the sake of
exactly,
options.
exactly. So I think
Yeah, and
this should
yeah,
change.
yeah.
Yeah.
This notion is also there, right? Like commerce is easy. Can like just tell people like is it easy compared to like science? Or I mean, you can. It's like comparing apples and oranges, basically, right?
Yeah, I think both are difficult. If you take, I'll take an example of MBBS. MBBS is for doctorate, and I'll take CA. CA is in accounts. So the process of getting into MBBS is difficult because you have to give lots of exams. But the process of getting into CA is very easy. But the process of getting out of MBBS is very easy because you just have to pass all the exams. But in CA, you have to, you know, struggle with lots of internships, and you have to give practical experience, you know, reports. You have to give exams. You have to manage work experience all at the same time. So it's very hard to get out of CA successfully rather than getting in. So both are difficult, but one is harder to get in and one is harder to get out of.
Oh,
Yeah.
so you're basically telling the pass percentage of CA is less compared to
Yeah,
MBBS.
it's very pass percentage of CA according to Indian CA is, I think, around for each and every exam it's from 5 to 15% all the time. 5
Like
to
all over India, that's what you're
Yeah,
telling, right?
all over India, 5 to 15% of the students pass the exam. So
Okay.
it's harder to, you know, get out of CA soon. And that's
Okay.
why
So
there's more
it's
preference for people who pass for the first time rather than seeing their, you know, report card. They'll just see, okay, you passed, okay, that's it. That's all that we want.
passed in the first attempt, you mean in like CA?
Yeah, in CA, because, you know, it's really hard. So people, they can't cope up with the pressure, so they fail. So that's why the recruiters or the employers, they usually say, okay, how many attempts did you take to pass? And according to that, your status increases in the chartered accounting community.
The portion used to change every 6 months, and then if you fail, like there are 14 exams as far as I remember, 14 exams, and then if you fail one exam, you have to
Mhm.
start from like zero.
Exactly. Yeah, so there are sets
What's
of
that?
four
Just
exams.
go in deep into that. I want to know
Okay,
what's.
so so what we're discussing is the Indian CA. So over here there will be sets of four exams. So let's say I have four exams, A, B, C, and D. All these exams will be held in 1 week. And if you, let's say, fail exam A, so all your attempts of B, C, and D will not be taken into consideration. So you have to pass all four at one time. Otherwise, you will be categorized as fail. That is why lots of students fail. Maybe they fail in one subject, and all the other three attempts are, you know, not taken into consideration. And also, there's negative marking, which just adds on to the pressure of the students.
So -1 or minus 0 point something.
How many, like, if you don't get 2 marks, they will subtract 2 marks. That's how it is. It's not
Oh, so
-1, -2. It's based on the number of marks that are there. So if it's a
so
4-mark question, so subtract 4 if you get it wrong.
okay, so directly the number of marks the question has, they'll subtract that.
Yeah. So if
So
you
that's
get 1 mark out of 2 marks in a question, so you lose 1 mark. So that 1 mark lost, they
zero.
will subtract one more time. So it becomes 0. So
Oh, I
there are
see.
students who get 0 out of 100, even though they scored 50. So they're like, 0 is also not a bad score.
Preparing for NEET, we have negative marking. So it's
Yeah.
kind of like but NEET is not compared to this. This is like a professional course, but I'm just saying for the sake of
Yeah,
saying. But
yeah,
AIMS and NEET, but now AIMS is not there. But when it used to be, for every right answer, you'll get 1 mark. For wrong answer, you'll get minus 0.25 or 0.75, depending on the policy.
yeah.
But in NEET, it was like, if you get correct, you'll get 4 marks. But if you get it wrong, you'll get -1. So it's
Okay. It's
something
still
like
all
that.
negative markings are,
It's
just
negative,
adding
right?
to the pressure. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. They're taking
Because
down.
if you don't know
Yeah.
anything, you can just put something, Bismillah, Alhamdulillah, like just do
No,
something.
so the main thing is that if you don't know the answer, you can skip the answer to avoid the negative marking. If you want to avoid the negative marking, don't attempt the question. If you
Oh,
attempt it, then you will be they'll give negative marking if it's wrong. So if you don't put the question number only, then there's no chance for them to cut out marks. That's why be
okay.
sure of the answer or don't attempt.
So now the exams you give in Saudi Arabia, so it's
Yeah.
basically something like MCQ, right?
For ACCA, there is no negative marking first. There's no negative marking. That's one plus point. And second plus point is there are no group subjects. That means they won't, make it compulsory for me to give 4 or 8 subjects in a row. So it's according to my flexibility whenever I want to give a subject. The starting 7 exams, total 17 if you're starting from 10th grade. If you're starting from 12th grade, they will reduce the first 4 and they'll make it 13 exams. So for me, since I started directly after 10th, I had 17 exams. The first 7 were completely MCQ and yeah, objective type questions, all of them. And then after that, after the first 7 exams, the next 7 exams, they are partly MCQ and partly essay writing or long answer writing. And the last 4 exams, they are full on essay writing and whatever spreadsheets and all the things that we have to create. So MCQs are there for the initial exams and then they keep reducing the weightage of the MCQs.
Why did you decide on like starting directly after 10th instead of, you'll get less exams like if you start after 12th, right?
Yeah,
13 exams.
yeah, you're getting 13 exams, but you're only skipping 4 exams. But in the process of 11th and 12th, if you clear out 7 or 8 exams, then you're having a head start of 4 to 5 exams. So that was my point. So by the time I finished 12th, I cleared, I think, uh, I cleared 8 exams. Yeah. So I basically got a head start of 4 exams. So that's
Okay,
why I
okay,
did it.
mashallah, mashallah. So
Yes.
that means what you're saying is that you'll get an extra edge, or you'll stand out of the crowd basically. They're trying to, start, and you're like in
Yeah.
the middle basically, somewhere.
Yes, so when I go to the exam center and I see all grown-up people, all graduates, already graduates, people who are doing masters, when they come to the exam, then I feel kind of out of place. But then
Yeah,
that's what
intimidation is like
yeah,
something like, oh,
yes. It's also positive because, the other people, they'll, try to make contacts and, we'll get to know each other. They'll also know my story, I'll know their story, what is happening. Yeah, so it's amazing.
I feel, when you are the youngest person, like youngest person in the company, or be it like, wherever you're trying to study, it also gives you, this like some sort of, drive that, like I'm the youngest, but still, I have to
Yeah,
prove. I don't know if,
yes.
if you feel the same.
Yeah, exactly. And it's, people, they always ask me every time I go to write an exam, one or the other person to me, he will always ask, why did you start so early? You could have given 12th better, more relaxed, and then you could have come to ACCA directly with, full concentration and everything. But then it's still better to give, exams early so that, you keep
I mean,
all
you have to do
the,
what you have to do. Yeah,
yeah,
sacrifice, and
exactly.
then.
Yeah. So
So,
it was like I had to, take out time when I was doing 11th and 12th to, pass all of these exams. And yeah, it was worth it. It is worth it.
so for anybody like starting, so these exams are like held by private institutions or something like that.
No, it is from ACCA Global. So the ACCA Global is like the main head organization of this. So they, what do you call, they delegate. the exam centers to smaller companies. Like over here in Saudi Arabia, there is British Council. So British Council is responsible for holding the exams, but British Council is, accountable to ACCA Global. So it's all under one main head, like board exams, you can say. So it's spread out
Okay.
around the world, around all the countries, but different organizations, they, help in, providing the exam centers.
On your like flexibility, or you have some rule like within 6 months you have to give 4 exams. That's like mandatory. Any exam, but you have to give four
No, no,
exams,
no.
something like
There,
that.
it's not mandatory. But if you don't give an exam in 10 years, then they'll cancel your registration. So that won't happen, very
Yeah,
likely.
yeah.
Yes, you can give how many ever exams you want. Maximum in one session you can give 3 exams. So
One session meaning?
one session means there are 4 sessions in one year. So one exam will be in March, then it will be in June, September, and December. So there are 4 sessions. So in each session, there will be a period of 1 week when all the exam dates will come out. And in those exam dates, you can give your exam. So you can't choose more than 3 exams in a week to give in that session.
So in one session you give how many? 3 exams.
Maximum 3.
Maximum 3 exams.
Yeah.
For the whole year.
No, in that one session. Then
Okay.
after 3 months, yeah, after 3 months, you can sign up for another 1 or 2 or 3 exams you want to give. So total in a year, if you can
12
study
exams.
up to that, yeah, so 3 into 4, 12 exams. Yeah.
Yeah, 12.
Yes.
Amazing. I mean, I don't know who will be giving that 12 exams, but still
I
I'm
know.
asking for
Yeah.
some geek studying, 24/7. But
Yes.
someone who wants to decide between ACCA and CA, like what advice like would you give him?
Yeah.
Like,
Okay, so ACCA is if you do ACCA, then you don't have then you can't basically get a job in India. ACCA is for countries that do not have their own chartered accountancy board, like over here in Saudi Arabia or the Gulf countries. They don't have their own specialized chartered accountancy board. So you can, if you do ACCA, you're more likely to get a job in the Gulf countries or in the UK or in Europe, or you can go to USA as well. But if you do ACCA, then you have opportunities in India, and you can also come to the, to outside, in the Gulf countries or Europe if you want. So ACCA restricts your what do you call limits to the Gulf countries and to Europe and USA. You can't go to India with ACCA. Yeah, so CA is applicable for India. So if you want to get a job in India, you have to do CA. But if you want to go abroad, then ACCA is more preferable.
is ACCA harder or CA harder? This is the question.
I think CA would be harder, yeah, because CA has negative marking. CA has, group subjects where you have to give 4 subjects in one go. And since CA exams are in India, so you are in that Indian atmosphere, you know, trying to study around, all
The whole
sorts of
family.
distractions. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So CA, and plus for CA, what happens is they have only 2 sessions in one year. One is in March and one is in November. So if you miss your March session by, because of any reason, because you can't travel or something, so you'll basically miss out
Three
four
exams.
exams that you,
3 to
yeah.
4. Yeah.
So you have to give the exam in November. So again, if something happens in November and you can't go to India, then again you have to wait for March. So this it's every 6 months, so it's less flexible. Well, they need lots of, conditions to get in, like you need maths. They'll check your 12th grade board exam marks. They'll check your 10th grade board exam marks. You have to register yourself in some Indian institution. You have to go for coaching classes. So all of those restrictions make it less and less flexible. So that is why CA comes out to be more harder. But the subjects are more or less the same. The only difference is the way the, structure is placed out for the exam sessions.
Okay, okay. So
Yeah.
does ACCA have the same thing? Like if you fail one exam, that you
Yeah.
like you'll be back to square one. The same thing happens in ACCA or
No,
no?
that's what ACCA gives you the opportunity of, giving all the exams in the easiest manner possible anywhere around the world. So
No,
if
that's not
you,
what I'm saying. I'm saying that
yeah,
if you fail one exam out of the four blocks, I mean, like if you
yeah,
have four
that's what,
exams, suppose four subjects. If you have four subjects, you fail in one subject. So do
yeah.
you have to give all over again or just this exam?
That's what, there are no groups, right? So,
Okay, 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 okay.
yeah, there are
Got
no
it.
groups in the first place. So that's what, it's the easiest possible way to clear all the exams.
Do you need coaching? Because I've seen you. I've asked you like I don't know how many times, but I always ask you, do you go to tuition?
Basically, for chartered accountancy of any type, okay, CA, ACCA, or CPA, or any of the chartered accountancy courses, there is no compulsion to go to any coaching course, or there is no compulsion to take admission in some college or any institution for learning. If you can do self-study, then you should do self-study. Otherwise, if you want classes, then the classes are available everywhere. So even in Jeddah, where I'm studying right now, there are so many institutions online as well as over here in the city that they offer tuitions for ACCA. But I prefer, having self-study because I go at my own pace. So that's how I like it. So if people want to join some institution, they can. But if they don't, then it's better to study at home at your own pace, however it's comfortable for you.
Self study, it also gives you that self learning capability, I believe, because
Yeah.
uh, I studied 2 years in a corporate college. That's what they call corporate college, meaning they charge you a lot of money. They provide you with every single thing. You just have to rote memorize everything. Basically, something like that. You even rote memorize MCQ questions.
Oh.
So if you get questions in physics, you're just seeing the question and saying no, option A, option B, option C.
Okay.
What happens is that after that, if you have to learn something, you need someone to break down and then like make it small
Yeah.
chunks. So
Yeah,
like
exactly.
basically you need someone to spoon feed you.
Yeah.
So,
So
but that does not
with
happen in real
self-study,
life, right?
yeah, exactly. With self-study, you're facing the problems yourself. So you're basically learning how to learn. So
Exactly.
it's much better, when I come up with new topics and all, usually people when they see new topics, they're like, no, I want tuition for this. I want someone to teach me this. But then self-study, that okay, how am I supposed to make myself understand this? What is the easiest possible way? There are lots of free resources on internet. They're like accessible by each and every person who wants to study. So it's their decision if they want to go to institutions where they teach, but it's more preferable by me to study by your own self, because that makes it more enjoyable. But also you have to maintain discipline when you're studying by yourself, because
Yeah.
yeah,
You can
exactly,
be like, yeah, I'm not feeling, yeah, I'm not feeling it today. Let's
exactly.
study after 1 hour. How do you maintain that discipline, like that robotic Farooque
It was it was very hard before, like in 11th and 12th. Like I could not basically find out the proper time where I would be studying only for ACC. Like I used to come back from school, and then afternoon I used to do homework, or I used to take rest, and then at the night I used to study 1 or 2 hours for ACCA. So it used to be really difficult, but then as soon as the school got over, now I'm finding it more comfortable that I can take out time. So usually I study in the morning. Like I study around, I have my target, like daily I'll finish 2 or 3 chapters from the textbook, and that's how it is. Like if I don't finish the chapters, then I'll just try to finish it. Yeah, that's
you're
how it
setting
is.
up yourself like a deadline basically. Like no
Yeah,
matter what
exactly.
happens, I'm going to do it today.
Yeah, yeah, 2 or 3 chapters, that's it. If you keep delaying it, those chapters will keep on increasing like day by day, like four
Yeah.
chapter, 5 chapters. Okay, then one book one day. So it's better to keep
One.
like, no, that's at the end, like if you're
Yeah.
procrastinating a lot.
Physics, I guess. Yeah. First two chapters was easy. They're always easy first chapters
Yeah,
because you are in that zone of yeah, everybody's studying like that. That
yeah,
competitive
you
drive is
start
there.
your
So
lecture notes, you will write
yeah,
everything down.
everything. So I'm done with the two chapters. Then the third chapter starts. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to do it. See, I got like good marks. I
Yeah,
don't need to study.
exactly.
And after 6 months, I was like, I have to like read like two books. So I was like, how am I going to do that? Then you have to cut
Yes.
corners, just get the important questions, memorize the important problems also. If you know,
Yes. It happened with me in 12th. In 12th, what happened was December. Yeah, after summer vacation, in summer vacation, I gave 3 exams for ACCA, and then I passed all of them. Okay, and then when I came to school, okay, I was having that confidence that I passed these exams. Now, what are the school exams in comparison to that? So I didn't
exactly,
study in school, and then I kept on dragging all the subjects that I wanted to study, and because of this I didn't give my unit test exam as well. I was like, no, I'm not prepared. And then I had my ACC exams again in December, and then I passed them as well. And then I basically shifted all my studies to the last 1 month, so I studied for 12 boards only in 1 month, and it was very hectic, but then it
so
was
you
worth it.
managed, meaning like you passed
Yeah,
it with
I
nice,
managed.
nice grades.
Yeah, I got 94. I was like,
Amazing,
what?
mashallah. So,
Yeah.
I mean, other people, they'll study, like they won't study anything the whole year. They'll study 1 month, still they might, end up with like 70 or 80, but that's not bad totally because let me tell you, my brother, he didn't pass off with the nicest grades, like in 11th or 12th. But today, Alhamdulillah, he studied like for less than 2 months, he got like around 8,000 rank all over India.
Mashallah, nice.
So he's studying law, he's in third year now.
Yeah,
So people think, it's like, yeah, sometimes, you need to, like, you might not get the best grades, but, that shouldn't let you, like down or
yeah,
something like that. You need to, get back
yeah,
into the zone and like hustle and
exactly.
all the stuff.
Yeah, the moment you challenge yourself, then there's nothing that you can't overcome. Like if you're waiting for people to challenge you that okay, you have to get this much, but the challenge should come from inside. So that's what drives a
Exactly.
person to, yeah, exactly.
Exactly. During my 11th class also, I didn't get that good of because I was too focused on NEET. I was like, no, what is this IP exam? I came from CBSE board. Like, where is CBSE board compared to state board? And I kind of like, like underestimated that. So I felt like kind of down, but then I got onto the track and
Yeah, and then 12th
that,
was amazing for you.
so, full zombie mode, so that kind of
This
pushed me.
process, this zombie mode which you're talking about, this started 1 month before my exam. I was like, I don't know anything. In pre-boards, I got 75%. I was like, yeah,
The pre-boards, they fluctuate like they affect you so
yes,
badly. I mean,
exactly.
some people, after giving the pre-boards, they'll be like, maximum you'll get 15 marks more or less. So
Yeah,
it
yeah,
kind of
it's a lot.
crushes you.
In in maths, sorry, not in maths, in accounts, in pre-boards, I think I got 46 or 47 out of 80. So if you're
Hmm.
taking out of 100, so I got like 66. Then I was like, no, that's it, it's over. 12th, I'm not getting much. But then in 1 month, I don't know what happened. If you're very focused, you can do
Yeah.
anything you want to achieve. Yeah, exactly.
Questions from people. Actually, three questions. I won't say, I have questions. I have three questions.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
One question is from Salman. You remember Salman? Salman
Obviously.
Boss. Salman Boss, not
Yeah,
Salman Nazir.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, he's asking, do you have any plans for startup?
Yes, I have plans, but then until they don't get into action, I won't be talking about them.
He's asking which niche would you pick up? Like, would you pick if you're starting a startup?
I'll pick up. If I say the niche, then it'll basically, spill out everything. But somewhere
Give us
related
like
to
a like
academics
the
or
outside
anything.
thing.
Academics,
Academic.
education. Yeah.
Then we have a question from Aman Rahim, who is probably sitting in
Oh,
Kerala and playing badminton every single day. He's asking, what is your dream? What, I don't know, dream meaning like the whole life dream or career dream. I don't know. He's asking, what is your dream?
oh, that's really hard. Well, I can say that in the next 5 years, what I'm dreaming about is, having like completing my education, getting over with education, and basically starting up with work or having a small business by my side. So that's what I'm dreaming of in the next 5 years. I don't know where life will take after those,
Yeah, nobody
you know.
expected the COVID, and then I mean,
Exactly.
so anything can happen.
Yeah. So in the next 5 years we can say, but it's still, very variant. Anything can happen.
Question from Adnan Tahir. He's asking, what tips or advice would you give on clearing ACCA papers?
Okay,
He's also
so
doing ACCA as far as I know.
okay, do you know which exam is he on or which level?
Which exam, or I just know he's doing ACCA.
Okay, so if he's very new to it, then basically the most important thing for passing any ACCA exam would be, first of all, clearing the theory part and doing lots and lots of questions, like how many ever question answers you get. So doing all sorts of question answers, mock papers, so many mock exams are there online. You can give all those exams. So basically, balancing between theory and your practice papers is the most important thing in ACCA.
When you do self-learning, you will learn to learn.
Yeah.
And so my question is, how do you learn? Like, are you a visual person or an audio person, or which is the other modality? Kinesthetic person, or what kind of method do you opt?
So like my learning process, it changed, like I think 2 or 3 times I changed it because it was not suiting. So first, before, what I used to do, I used to only read. Okay, I used to not write anything because I felt the theory knowledge at the start is not very much. Like, the starting 3, 4 exams, they're, fairly easy comparative to the others. So I didn't, make any notes. All I did was I used to just solve like a couple of questions every day, and then I used to be prepared. But then later on, the exams kept getting harder and harder. So for that, what I did was I started making notes. I used to write by my hand. So for each subject, I used to, I think I have around 30 to 35 pages of notes for each subject. So those notes I used to write like 2 or 3 times for the same subject, so that by making notes I'll remember what I'm writing.
The same
So
thing.
yeah, the same thing I used to write 2 or 3 times, but I used to keep a gap of around 2 to 3 weeks every time I write, so that I'll refresh the memory what I learned before. And now in the last 5 exams, I have 5 exams left. So now mainly I'm focusing on typing my answers on the computer because the exams are on computer. So I'll get more used to the environment of typing all the essay answers or paragraphs or everything that are there. So now I'm typing my notes on the computer.
So how do you go about like strategizing like the whole thing? Like if you have an exam coming up, like how will you strategize? Will you like see, okay, fine, I have 10 chapters, break down to
Yeah,
like
okay. So what I do is I'll see the number of pages or I'll see the number of chapters. Like around on average, there'll be 20 chapters for each subject. So I will say, okay, if the chapters, I will first go through the entire textbook, roughly to see what all contents and what all contents are there, what all chapters are there. Then if I see that if the chapters are fairly easy, okay, if the chapters are fairly easy, then I'll do around 3 to 2 chapters per day. Otherwise, I'll keep a limit of, I'll say 50 to 60 pages in one day I will do. And then that's it. I won't do anything more than that. So basically, it will be, my goal would be, completing the subject as fast as possible so that I'll get a chance to read and re-practice everything more number of times. So if I
so
have an
basically you're
exam
trying to revise as many times as possible.
yeah, exactly. So for this, in September, I had 2 exams in September. So for that, I took 5 months. So in those 5 months, I reread and resolved all the questions 4 times. So the more number of times you solve, the more number of times you read. Yeah, so it just gets inbuilt in the memory. Because with chartered accountancy, the portion is a lot. Like there's so much portion for each chapter. You can't basically give time to one chapter or one topic and say, okay, this is important. So it's better to reread, rewrite whatever topics are there. So that's what I plan to do every time.
So do you have like a weekly goal, monthly goal, daily goal? Like how do you
I
go
only
about it? Do
have
you
a
make
daily goal.
to-do
No,
list or something like
I
that?
used to do to-do list, but then it was just time consuming because like in one month I made a to-do list and then I just remembered everything in my head now. Like, okay, I'll just stick everything in my head now. Okay, what I have to do, what I don't have to do. Yeah.
So you're going
So,
spontaneous now.
yeah, exactly. Because now I've gotten used to the process and it's feeling much better. So I'll just focus more on studying rather than, getting how to study.
To actually research a lot, like like what are people doing exactly? Like what are these top performers doing? But what I realized in the end,
It's
I was actually,
nothing. Yeah,
researching a lot. I was not studying.
exactly. That's what you just start the process, and then everything will come to place. You will
Yeah, like
learn
we'll
more
figure
by
it out.
trial and error.
That's what they say.
Yeah, the
Exactly.
best way to learn is by trial and error, finding the best possible way for yourself, not by looking at someone else and saying, okay, that works for him, so that will work for me. So if I do something that works for me, there's no chance that someone else will start, doing it, implementing from day one, and he'll find success. So that can't be done.
How many attempts can you give like in CA and
Mhm.
ACCA?
There's
Like
no limit of
in CA,
attempts.
on CA in both the things.
Yeah, you can give how much ever you want. I think it is maybe, not sure, maybe 8 or 9 attempts, but I don't think anyone will reach, those many attempts by failing.
You can't fail in ACCA. That's the bottom line,
No,
right?
you can.
Because
No, no, you
no,
can.
not in the sense one subject, like the whole thing you can't fail, right?
No, I mean like you can still fail, but you won't go back. You will remain at the same position where you left. Yeah.
Exactly. But CA you have to start from zero then. That's the
No,
thing.
you have to give like let's say total 12 exams are there, for example, in CA.
Yeah.
So these 12 exams they'll be divided into 4, 4, and 4, right? So
Yeah.
if you pass the first 4 exams, okay, you passed, and then the next 4, if you fail any one of them, okay, so all the 4 exams will be discarded. So you will be left off at 4 only. But those
Okay.
three
Okay.
exams, yeah. So you won't go back. But if you pass the other 3 exams in the group and one you failed, so you're basically being, cancelled out of all the 3 exams which you passed. So that is one of the problems. So like if you have 4 exams and if you failed one, and so all the three
So
exams which you
CA is
passed,
having the group system. So you're telling exams in the group, if you fail that, you have to do the whole group again.
yeah, if you fail one exam or if you fail 2 exams, how much ever if you fail, you
Yeah.
have to give the whole group again. So you have to pass in all in order to go to the next step. And you
How?
can go to the next
Yeah.
step only if you're in the next 6 months. So it's yeah.
So how many attempts do you recommend? Because there are people who have been, like trying a lot. Like some people have given 2 attempts, 3 attempts. There's some like just like any other competitive exam, people are giving NEET for the fourth time. I mean, at least I feel it's like a waste of time. I mean, but you can still do that. I'm not here to judge because I'm
Yeah,
not in the commerce. I don't know.
yeah.
So it's not my place to say. But I'm asking you that how many attempts? Because for CA we have people giving 3 attempts, 4 attempts. Then there are people who didn't get in the first attempt. They got committed to it and got it in the second attempt. So
Yeah.
like, what do you do?
So
Does it happen in the ACCA thing or only it's
it
limited to
happens in
the?
ACC as well. So one time I failed in I think 2 exams in like total in ACCA. So what I did was I changed the way I approached the exam. I did not approach it the same way and expected different result. Like
Of
yeah,
insanity, right? Doing the same thing
yeah,
and expecting.
exactly. Sandeep Maheshwari.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so one of his quote was, if you can't hammer a nail in one attempt, then try to reposition the nail rather than hammering it hundreds of times. Just reposition the nail so that it'll just take one attempt to succeed. So that's what happens with students. If they do the same thing, they have to try to identify what the problem is, why they're not getting the result, and then they should work on it differently from the previous approach. So changing the approach is very important if you're not getting past an exam.
So I was talking about like how many attempts would you recommend, and if people are failing, like should they go for like one more year, or like completely like switch off the dream of CA or do something, like what should they
No,
do?
I think for CA, I think 2 attempts are acceptable, very much acceptable, because passing is not a cup of tea in CA. So two or three attempts, they're very much acceptable. But if you want to, if you're very much determined to do CA, then try to change what you're doing. Basically identify the problem, why you're not getting past it, Otherwise, leave it if it's not fitting your style. But just try to identify what the problem is and then do it in a different manner the next time you're giving the exam. So 2 or 3 attempts it's not a big deal in CA.
Okay, so it happens. You're saying it's common.
Yeah, it's very much common.
Because for us, even if we fail unit test, we think it is the end of the world, right?
Mhm.
But it's not the thing with CA. Basically, get
Exactly.
used to failing.
So the first time I gave my CA exam, sorry, not CA, ACCA exam, okay, I got 54 out of 100, okay. This was the first, and that was the easiest exam, okay, out of them all. So I got 54 out of 100, and that was like, uh, life changing because I didn't expect myself to get like 54 out of 100.
Yeah.
And then what happened was I came back home, and then my father was like, no, nobody asks marks when you're doing chartered accountancy. They will ask pass or fail. If you
Oh
say
my.
pass, even if it's like 50 or 51, it doesn't matter. Just say pass or fail, that's it. So every time I give my exams, and if I see some of my friends sitting there giving an exam, they won't ask how much. They'll just say pass, fail, that's it, done. Nobody goes for
So,
marks. Yeah,
so it's not the percentage or like the way we see
nothing.
10th or 11th or even
Yeah,
12th also. It's like,
nope.
are you even like, if you're above the line, you are safe. That's the thing.
Exactly.
What it.
Because country toppers or state toppers, they'll usually, for ACC I'm talking about, usually country toppers they come out after 70 or 72 marks. If you get around 70 to 72, you can expect yourself to be in the country toppers list. So that's how much the exam is difficult. So if someone says, okay, I want 90 in ACC, so that's not going to work, or you have to be super genius for that. So marks in ACC is not a big deal. You just have to say pass or fail.
How do you deal with anxiety? Like, this is like a competitive exam, right? If you fail, then I think you have to pay money for giving a re-exam, if I'm not wrong.
It's very expensive ACCA. So
Every exam.
yeah, yeah. So it's around I think 18 to 19,000 rupees per exam.
Correct. So,
No,
like,
not
how do you
18.
approach the anxiety? I mean, like, you're putting money and then you have
Yeah,
to give exam. Like, how do you approach the
yeah.
anxiety?
So right now at the point where I'm standing, I'm having 5 exams left, and I didn't even turn 18. Okay, I'll turn 18 soon, and then what happens for me is there's not much pressure of failing because I am still not of that age where I'm going to be concerned about I have to pass as soon as possible, because right now I don't have any time constraint. So failing it won't be a big deal for me right now because I don't have anything to lose.
Most of the people, they'll be like, I mean, their father is retiring soon, or, maybe
Yeah,
they have to look
exactly,
up, those kind of
exactly.
situations, they happen a lot. And that's why, I think, like, they are like, I have to pass or I don't know what.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm happy that I'm not in that situation right now.
Alhamdulillah, alhamdulillah.
Yeah, exactly.
Anxiety is like usually because people want to pass so badly. That is why.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Don't focus on passing, just focus on your work and then, leave the result.
In Allah's
Uh,
hands.
yeah, exactly. I think one of the cricketers, someone said, don't look at the scoreboard when you're playing. Let the scoreboard take care of itself.
Given that you could potentially go back in time with the given
Hmm.
knowledge you have as of
Yeah,
now, what would you do differently? Be it career, life, whatever.
yeah. I won't fail in those exams which I failed. Yeah. Happened was when I gave my exams, I failed in 2 exams. So at that time, I was in 11th, and basically in those ACCA exams, the 12th grade portion was being asked. So I was in 11th, so I didn't have any idea of what the 12th grade thing was. So I tried to study how much ever possible. But so I got 48 out of 100. So I missed the passing by 2 marks. And then the next time I gave it, I got 84. So I was like, okay, it's not that easy. So now if I go back, I'll try to, make sure I pass in the first attempt.
So
Yeah.
if you were to have a dinner with three people, alive or dead, and with the best food, everything, best restaurant and everything, who would
Yeah.
those three people be, excluding you? So that is four people.
Okay.
And why? You
Uh,
have to just say why.
wow. That's difficult. Having dinner.
Take your time,
I
take
don't
your time.
know.
We have all the time.
uh, I think one of them would be Mufti Menk because I would, love to talk
Oh,
with him. Yeah. Uh, mm, One would be, I think, mm, who would I, want to have dinner with? Should be someone, whom you can talk to very properly.
I mean, it
Uh,
could be someone you look up to also, right?
yeah, exactly.
I
But
mean,
I
you're
look
saying
up to
that
a
they
lot
should
of,
be ready to talk to me. That's what you're saying.
no, but then I look up to a lot of sports persons as well. But then I don't want to talk with them. Like, what will I talk with
Okay.
them?
Yeah,
Yeah, I want to be, beneficial for me as well when I.
yeah.
So
Not like
Mufti
a
Menk,
fan thing.
yeah,
Just,
exactly. Yeah, exactly. Uh, and probably uh, maybe Bhuvan Bam. Yeah,
yeah, Bhuvan Bam. Yes.
yeah, I can sort of, talk to him as well. So I've got two very contrasting people at the same
Yeah.
time.
So you don't have to be like, no, these guys are going to get sad. I have to, kind of like
Yeah,
match. Just
yeah,
just get three random people.
I don't know if I'm satisfied with my choice, but I can't think of anything else
So why Mufti Menk?
because he, like there's lots of things to learn from him. How he handles stuff, the deen, dunya, all these things. He's overall such an amazing person. So I'd obviously want to talk with him, learn some
He's
new things
cool.
from him. Yeah, exactly. So, have some of his sense of humor as well.
Yeah.
And yeah,
And why Bhuvan Bam?
I couldn't think of anyone else. Yeah.
Amazing.
Maybe I'll just, talk with him about his, life story, how he went from nothing to, where he is right now, how he achieved like in such a less time. Yeah,
At
that's
a
what I
very young
would.
age.
Yeah,
Mm.
exactly.
How do you stay spiritually woke? I mean, there's a lot of, I get all the, info apparently that, I always see Farooq, in the first stuff in Fajr and all.
Yeah, I think that would be the only solution. Meditation, salah or meditation. If you're, having a time where you're alone with yourself, where you can, think about whatever is happening, stay alone for some time, and then that really boosts everything that, you're doing in life. So I think meditation, yeah, and that's the only thing that's,
Consistent, with all the deen and, studies are also there. Then, like some advice for the kids out there.
yeah. So first of all, I think, going to salah, okay, or going to the mosque for praying is does not make you a higher level Muslim. That's the bottom line. Going to salah is going for prayer is the bottom line. You have to do it. If you're going for salah, that does not make you a very pious Muslim or very religious person. Going to salah is a must. So obviously, all those who are listening, who will listen, they they have to know that okay, going salah is not a I mean, it's not a luxury. Anyone can do it. It's very easy to,
I
take
mean,
time. Yeah,
consistency and,
exactly.
giving the
Yeah.
leveling up the
So,
sunnats and the
yeah,
nafils. And
yes.
how do you do that?
I don't play Nafil. Listen, I don't know. It has been there from beginning. Like, there's never a day when, like I missed all of the prayers for some reason. But I pray home. I pray at home if I'm not going out. But I think taking out time is a must from whatever you're doing. If you're saying I will study for 10 hours straight, that's why it's not very healthy. So you have to take out time, whatever you're praying, and like if you're doing salah, if you're going to the masjid.
Getting a head start with career and
Yeah,
everything.
so see, that's what. So I study in the morning. So once
Yeah.
I finish my target, I have time for anything that I want. I want to go to play football. I have, I'll talk to some of the friends or so if I finish my study, then I'm free for the like, entire day. So that's basically take 10 to 15% of your entire day for studying. and then you have the rest 80-85%, with you for enjoyment. That's what my theory is, that if you're finishing your work, as soon as possible in the day, then you can do anything that you want. Like, it's not like I'm not on Instagram, or I'm not active on WhatsApp, or I don't go to parties, or I don't go to play football. I do everything, but I do studies as well. So the main thing that's lacking in people who want to do all of this at the same time is basically managing your priorities. So basically, I study everything the moment I get up. I get freshen up, I pray Salah and everything, and then I try to finish it as soon as possible. So basically before Zohar, I'm free, or maybe like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock. I'm relieved of all my duties towards academics, and then I can do anything that I want. Yeah. So right now we talked for a lot of
Yeah,
time, but yeah, it's not like, okay, I have to study right now, I have to do this, I have to do that, because I know
right.
that yeah, I've already finished my work. Now there's nothing to be guilty about.
Is there something I should have asked that I didn't ask?
Uh, Yeah, probably. How difficult was it to manage ACCA with 11th and 12th?
Oh, yes. So
Yeah,
answer that
because
for me now.
yeah,
Now that
okay.
you have.
Yeah, so that was basically it was a very hard moment. I mean, not a moment, it was a hard 2 years. Starting when the exams were easy, everything was okay, everything was fine. And then as soon as the exams got tougher and tougher, it was really hard to maintain, focus on 11, 12 as well as ACCA. So sometimes I used to study only ACCA, sometimes I used to do only like classwork, or sometimes I used to never study because I was, constantly thinking, what should I do first? What should I do first? So I still
Decision
remember,
fatigue.
yeah, exactly. So I still remember last summer vacation, I had 3 exams to give for ACCA, and at that time, I took part in cluster meet as well. So I was practicing for cluster meet also, and it was 12th. So I had to study for 12th as well. And then I was in the cabinet as well. So all those cabinet, functions and
Duties.
everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So all of those things, they came all together at once. And then I applied for driving license. So at night I used to go, for driving license coaching. And so all that entire period was, I
Hectic.
don't know, it was, yeah, exactly, it was very hectic. So those, memories stand out.
Yeah.
But Alhamdulillah, it's all over. Yeah.
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 Do you recommend anybody maybe do like after like if they're done with 10th maybe this year,
Yeah.
or would you recommend them going down the same path as you're doing?
Yeah, I would definitely tell them to do it. But, since I don't want them to, go through the same thing that I went through in 11th and 12th, so I want to tell them that you have to be mentally prepared, that you will be tested in ACCA very, yeah, very harshly or strictly, because the passing percentage is 50, and the exams get tougher really soon. So once you're finishing with first 4 exams, you're going to an completely new level, and then the next 4 exams you finish, and then you're like, okay, again the exams get really tough. So you have to be mentally prepared that are you ready to take this challenge? Otherwise, you can wait for 2 years and then give all of them conveniently and skip 4 exams. But if you want to do them after 10th, and if you want to have a head start, or if you want to overachieve in that period, then I think it's a very good idea, because you will obviously, now I've been studying for 2 years. So now if I had started after 12th, it would take around 1.5 year. So I'm basically 1.5 year ahead of, who will start after 12th. So
Wow.
it's a good thing. Yeah. A lot of people don't know what ACCA is basically. The lots of neighbors around, okay, over here where I'm living, they're saying, okay, you're doing some online course, you're doing some online course. They're thinking I'm, learning from Udemy or something, watching
Yeah.
1, 2 lectures for
Yeah.
$49. That's it.
Yeah.
But no, I'm actually doing, chartered accountancy. So, the awareness is very less.
So, this is a bachelor's degree or like it's a professional, what do you call this degree?
It's a professional
Associate.
qualification. It's a
Okay, professional
qualification.
qualification.
Yeah. So it's basically you are being a member of the chartered accountant community. So
Oh.
like
Do you
yeah,
have
so
to
you
renew this stuff? Like
yeah,
I
every
heard
year
some
you have to
renew
yeah,
every
once you
year.
become a yeah, every year you have to pay the membership fee. It's same like in India as well. If you're doing CA, then you have to pay for membership to ICAI, the Indian Institute of Chartered Accountants. So with the ICAI, they will take membership fee every year from you to be a member.
You don't have to give any exams to renew the
No, you have to pay
membership.
the fees. Only pay the fees. Actually, it's more about the experience. You will get lots of job offers, inshallah, hopefully.
Inshallah,
And
inshallah.
yeah, you will meet a lot of people who can, who will be benefited by you and who want to benefit you at the same time. So lots of, uh, what do you call, fruitful relationships and all in the business circle you'll get. And one more advantage of being, member of ACCA is that they'll like in their website, if you want to search for any member, you can just Google their name and their name will come up. And then if you want to talk to them, you can directly talk to them from the website. And if you want to hire them, if you want to present any offer or anything, or if you want to book a meeting, so it's all done online from the membership. So that's some of the
You
advantages.
also see if the person is authentic or not, because
Yeah,
like you won't be fraud, like dealt with.
yeah,
There's
I
a lot
get
of
it.
fraud people also out there, right?
Yeah,
You'll like
yes.
genuine. I think they'll have like some card or something like that or some ID so that you can
No,
put it
it's all
onto
on the
the.
website. Everything is on the website.
So you put the ID and you get to know the
Yeah,
person.
exactly, everything. You have your ID and your password, and
Yeah.
those will be directly linked with your entire account in, the ACCA website, and you can access everything from there. So if you want, like for now, from my account, if I want to get jobs as internships, I can directly search on the website, and if people present me the opportunity for an interview, I can directly go, without meeting anyone personally or anything. So that's
So what
there.
do you look? What are you looking after? Like after this course, are you looking for internships? Are you looking for a job
No,
or looking
I'm
for a firm? Like what's happening?
no. First of all, I'll try to finish all my education, and then the main reason why I'm not going for internship is because students who usually go for internships, they complete around like 75% of ACCA or CA, and they go for internship and they complete the rest of their course along with the work experience. But for me, what I will do is I'll finish ACCA, I will do bachelor's. I'll want to do one or two more accounting degrees, and then so that I'll be better equipped for the internship as well. And then by the time I finish internship, I will obviously have more education so that I can be better equipped for the next job as well. So it's all about being more prepared for that situation. So for internship, I'll try to do as much as possible. I'll finish everything or almost everything that I want to do in education, and I'll be more equipped. I'll be better equipped when I go for an internship. That's the idea
Okay.
or plan. Yeah.
So people listening and watching, this is it, I guess. Yeah. Do you want to say anything? Last signing off message to the youth, to the people who want to pursue like ACC or C, or any advice for life in general?
Yeah, my advice would be if you're still in 10th or 11th or 12th, find out more about your opportunities rather than getting influenced by outside people. Try not to get influenced. Take your own time in thinking what you want to do. And if you're already past 12th, take a deep breath. Don't, take any step that will have major consequences. You know, think it out very properly what you want to do in life. And good luck. Yeah.
So people, that is it for the interview. I wish the best of everything to you, Farooq, and
Yeah, same to
like,
you.
Assalamu alaikum.